look at the group chat.
I seen a message, but we're gonna talk about Anthony Edwards and how he's been playing at a high level. We'll address that in a little bit. I want to give Ant-Man his credit.
Oh, yeah.
Like we already talked about Just Squad. We gave like 15 minutes to Just Squad already.
Jeff, didn't I tell you back in the day Ant was gonna be that dog?
Yeah. Like for sure. Like leading the team averaging 27 a game, number 1 seed is a little bit of a robbery. He was an all-star starter. Like, not really a fan of that. Like, just an all-star team in general. It was a couple guys.
I mean, Shea and Luka.
He's a number 1 pick. Would hope.
See here, all right, E, you wasn't here for this combo, but so basically, I try to give number 1 picks credit for playing at high levels, and we pretty much came to understanding that Darius and Tajon, they're used to seeing the number 1 picks that they grew up on actually play well.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, we didn't have that much.
That's the reason you get drafted number 1, because we expect you to play well. You get drafted number 1 in the NBA draft out of all of those players, out of hundreds of players.
Outside of Wiseman.
The top 1. We expect you to play good. This is what we expect. We expect you to be a superstar. We don't draft you number 1 for you to be a role player. We don't draft you number 1 for you to be DeAndre Ayton. We don't do that.
Yeah, that's the only one in recent memory that hasn't really like.
He's okay, but he ain't no number 1 pick. Yeah. He don't play like a number 1 pick. He played like he should got drafted number 15.
Wiseman was 2, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. It was 2.
Yeah, Ant-Man was 1. So they're used to seeing their number 1 picks hit. And they was looking at me like I was crazy because I was trying to give Paolo some credit a couple weeks ago.
No, it's like we give him credit, but like it's just more like that's what we expect. Like, bro, you got drafted number 1. When you get picked number 1, we expect superstar right there. That you superstar, you all-star appearances, you playing out of your mind, you being one of the best players in the league. That's what we expect because
that's what y'all have seen. We didn't grow up seeing that. We saw Michael Olowokandi. We saw Kwame Brown. We saw Anthony Bennett. We saw
Anthony Bennett. Anthony Bennett got drafted in like 2014 or something like that. Like he ain't know. We saw the Anthony Bennett, but that's what I'm saying.
Andrea Bargnani. We saw Bargnani. We saw
all those players you're naming. They get so
Andrew
much
Bogut.
hate.
Yep.
They get so much hate because they went number 1 and they sucked. Like, you get what I mean? They were supposed to. They drafted them expecting them to be superstars. We expected them to be the top ballot in the league, and we first team All NBA. That's what we expect when we draft somebody number 1. We expect them to be in that level. So when they suck and they're a bust, that's why they get so much hate. That's why we hate Anthony Bennett so much. That's why we hate Kwame Brown so much. Like, that's why Andre Bargnani, we're like, come on, man. Like, we don't them niggas. We expect more from that. So when these number 1, so to us, when these number 1 picks pan out, that was the whole point of drafting you. We drafted you because we knew that's what you were gonna do. So I get that you're like, oh, they deserve more praise. They necessarily don't, bro. You got drafted to be the guy that you are. It's more like it's expected. Like, good job, bro. That's what we thought you were going to do. That's why we picked you number 1. That's why we thought you were the best player in that draft class, because you were going to come in and produce and be a star. Like, we don't expect you to come in and, oh no, he going to be, damn, he going to have 15 points per game. He going to be inconsistent. We expect you to be a star. That's why these lower picks, that when they become nice, it's like, damn, we didn't expect you to be that good, but we're glad you are. That's why they get more praise than they do now. Like, that's why Shea's getting more praise. Luka, that's why Luka's getting more praise. Because, bro, we expected him to be good. We expect him to be top of the league. Like, that's why we feel that way, because you got drafted number 1. That's what you're supposed to do. You're doing exactly what our scouts saw in you. You're doing that right now. Or, like, there's not really much. There's no expectations to exceed because you got drafted number 1. Like, that's what we expect from you.
But yeah, Ant-Man, he just changed the trajectory of the team, though. I see what you're saying, but 26-5-5. Then you got Cat. He's averaging his 23. Gobert, the way they defend, like Kyle Anderson defends at a high level, Jay McDaniels defends at a high level, and Nikhil Alexander Walker defends at a high level. So they have perimeter defense, rim protection. Nas Reed, He's productive in his role off the bench.
You're not gonna say nothing about Rudolph. You gotta
I
say
say
something
Gobert.
about Rudolph, yo.
I say something about Gobert. I say they got great interior defense.
And then you said Nas Reed. That's why I was like, yo, you're not gonna skip over Rudolph. Like, I don't like Rudolph. I don't like him either. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my most hated. I think he don't do shit but play defense. Like, that's how I feel about him. Like, I feel like he genuinely don't do shit in the offseason. He's been the same player every single year. But yeah.
If the Wolves are healthy on the perimeter, that's the difference. Utah's perimeter defense was kind of cheats with Bogdanovich and Mitchell. So I would like to see them fully healthy with McDaniels and Edwards in a playoff situation to see if it was like actually Rudy or if it was the other perimeter
you
defenders.
don't want to play them. Like, if you're in the playoffs, you do not want to play the Timberwolves at all. Because it's like, bro, you can't scoring on the Timberwolves is really hard to do. Like, you got to put in extra work to try to score on the Timberwolves. They got defense everywhere. Everywhere you go, you got somebody that can guard you.
I think all five of their players. All five of go ahead. My bad.
No, what you said? No, I'm saying I was saying we're offense on Cat.
I was about to say like 5 of their players is in the top 10 in defensive rating or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Probably.
You got 5 people on the court at one time, and everybody can play defense.
And their bench players can play defense.
Their bench players play defense on top. Like, they have everything you need. So that's a team that nobody wants to see in the playoffs, because you could very well lose to the Timberwolves just off of them hustling, like off of just hustling defense. You could literally lose the Timberwolves just because of that. Because we know Ant's gonna score, Cat's gonna score automatically. Those two automatically gonna score.
I'm more concerned about Cat in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's a known playoff.
He should have been gone. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't let go of that shit. I said he could get traded. He could still get traded. I know that everybody flipped because they're the number 1 seed and he was averaging 20. He can still get traded. I feel like you can get something better, build for the future or something, because he don't. Cat thinks it's still his team. It's not his team anymore. He plays like it's still his team. Like, that's Anthony Edwards' team, hands down. Anthony Edwards is the reason they're good. Like, with the reason that they made that flip into being the team that they have, the number 1 seed, the top seed right now, the top team right now. So I just think Cat needs to, like, realize that, bro, this is his team now. Like, but yeah, but like. Ant being, you say he came in and changed that landscape of that team and all that. That's what he's supposed to do. Like, you got drafted number 1 overall. That's what we expect from you. Number 2, we expect that from you too, because, like, so it's.
So, last question about both these two teams. If they finish 1-2, should both players be top 5 MVP consideration, and do y'all feel like they can win a playoff series? I'm sorry what you say.
Maybe I'm reaching. I think we can meet in the conference finals. Honestly, they should.
I think the Clippers and Nuggets are a little too dangerous for that right now. I don't think they're ready to take down either team in the series.
I do. I'm ready for new. I honestly do. I don't want to be going last year too much, but I like how the Timberwolves played the Nuggets last year.
I played them tough.
Yeah, I like that. Like, that gives me hope into next season. Like, I like how they played them next season. I like how they played them last season. They did lose in 5. Don't get me wrong, but I do like.
They were close games though. They were like right there.
I like how they played the Nuggets. I definitely do. So I got the Timberwolves. I got them going far in the playoffs. Like, off of no experiences. That's me personally. I got them going far. And the Thunder, same thing. Like, this could really be this whole, I don't know if y'all been seeing, but this SGA and Ant-Man thing, this could be like a rivalry.
I need the playoff series. I think I need the playoff series. Yeah.
No, they can definitely play finals. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if the Timberwolves, I'm surprised. If the Thunder in the conference finals, I'm not surprised either. Like, you're saying the Clippers and Nuggets, but like, just think about how many people got to the conference finals. Done it. Luka's done it. Trae Young has done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, we've seen lesser of them. Luka's not lesser than, but we've seen like Trae Young and Devin. But we've seen them do that. Like, you get the right matchups. You're one season away from the finals. So I think this can be a conference finals matchup. Honestly, should they both be top 5 MVP?
No.
Not Anthony Edwards. No.
Anthony Edwards, no. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was thinking. Not Anthony Edwards. Shea, yes. Because the top 4 is, what is it? Embiid, Jokic, Luka, and Shea. Those are the top 4. Do you think Ant is the 5th best player out of, like, you think he's next up? Like, you know what I mean?
I might throw Giannis ahead of Ant. So yeah, y'all right.
Yeah, but he's close though. He's definitely
he is close, but top 5, no.
Yeah, I might have put Giannis ahead of him.
I say like 6, 7, maybe. Like, you know.
Okay, fair point.
And that's even a debate when you got throwing, Jason Tatum and shit.
Yeah, Tatum and yeah. So not quite.
I didn't want to say anything about him. I was trying to skip over him. I was hoping nobody would say his name.
If I would have said it, then y'all would have accused me of being biased.
That's why I didn't say it.
So that's why I said Giannis. Excuse me.
I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. When you said Giannis, I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yo, y'all gotta stop accusing me only watching one team. I don't move like
yeah, we know you watch 3 teams. We know you watch 3. Celtics, God. Magic, and Wizards.
For all the listeners or watchers, this is false allegations. Like I literally watch everybody. Like, don't listen to this guy.